Here we go.
Yes.
What are all the YouTube greetings that they talk about? Hey guys, what's going on, guys? What's up, YouTube?
Do you want to learn how to do a podcast?
Shit, I think I missed some of the other ones, but hey guys is the best one. Hey guys, what's going on? You know, it's
You know what I'm saying?
Liquor Snake coming at you. You know, once again for my Eastwood. I don't even know why I'm talking like this weird '90s kind of DJ. I think I'm trying to make fun of like Full House when Jesse was the radio DJ or whatever.
No, you're making fun of any of those VJs from MTV from like '97 or like '01.
Shout out to Carson Daly.
Yeah, and shout out to Lala too.
My son, who was some other VJs like Kennedy.
And this one, the light skin joint with the fro.
Talking about downtown Julie Brown,
No,
Forerunner.
I know downtown Julie Brown. I'm talking about the younger one that was on, like the older, the older newer MTV. Son, she was light skin, had the fro. Damn, it's been mad years. Son. She used to be floating around Times Square a lot when I was at
In the comments, if you are up on your MTV lore, let us know who that VJ is.
Your old VJ lore.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that I remember Kennedy. I think that's like the height of my oldness. That shows definitely dates me, you know.
The quintessential individual for that time definitely was the one known as Carson Daly.
He was top tier.
He wasn't even like cheesy or corny. He was just.
He was though, but
he
knew how to.
Guy, so.
But he knew how to bring it across to you. You know, he knew how.
Yeah. That's why like
sell that NSYNC video.
That's why that Dave Chappelle skit was funny when they had old Carson Daly. He was like, "Yo, why don't y'all just shut the fuck up? Like, how many times can we watch the same NSYNC video, man?" But with that, welcome back, folks. We've missed you, much like you've missed us, and we're here to eat some of that pain for you, baby. On a Tuesday morning?
Yes, a fine, what appears to be hazy. Not hazy, I think that's not the word. Humid. There you go. Humid Tuesday morning.
We definitely in a what seems to be a heat wave.
Heat wave 98? Nah.
I mean, I was about to say heat wave 99, but either one.
They should bring back them heat waves. I mean, the E would just. This is not gonna be a wrestling episode, guys. Once again, we are the Triple P.
3 P's. 3 of them things.
The Perfect Plex podcast. Oh, I said it right this time on the first try.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at me.
In the late distant future will be the Perfect Peck.
Yeah,
Perfect Peck's podcast.
Then we could go to that. Then we can say, yo, we did it though.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on it though. I'm trying.
Oh yeah. We're trying to have a real nice Undertaker resurgence.
But yeah, we are here live, or I guess not live when you're listening to this in the future, like 10 years in the future.
Well, we're live, but when y'all hear this, it won't be.
It won't be. But we're here to talk about some various sports things. It's gonna be like a little super show, because it was kind of like a big-ish sports weekend. UFC Fight Night happened with Rosenstrike versus Augusto Sakai. Which, we're not going to go into it too much. Shout out to Rosenstrike for
it was
knocking son out, though.
It wasn't where the eyes were for the weekend.
It was a solid card, though. I'll
say
that.
You got to be an MMA fan to have want to seen that. And, I missed it because I had to work. But, it was definitely the MMA fan fight night, if you will.
Yeah, basically, for the marks. And then Sunday was the main event. Fucking YouTube supernova, Logan Paul fighting the GOAT, the modern GOAT of boxing, Floyd Mayweather. It was a spectacle, as I knew it would be. I wasn't even gonna watch it at first, but the fact that it was on Sunday, I was like, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
And the playoff games the playoff game it ended, and
Yeah, that's what helped. That's what helped. That playoff.
Yeah, everything
ended.
The
games were early.
Yeah, the games were early.
So you had no choice but to either watch the Simpsons or or the Logan Paul fiasco.
And what a fiasco it was. I always appreciate that they have like a couple spectacle fights and then like a real boxing match in there somewhere to at least cleanse the palate, wet the whistle a little bit.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, like the first spectacle match was your man Ocho Cinco's, and like that we saw. Like I didn't watch the whole card. We didn't catch the whole card.
Yeah, no, we
tuned caught like
in.
the last 3 fights.
We tuned
basically
in when it was like maybe like 30 people in the crowd, and we had first discovered that brother Jesus and Mero
were on commentary, which is the best thing about this.
Like, once again, I said it last night. At this point, especially if it's their Showtime vehicles, they have to be the commentary team now. Like you've spoiled us now, Showtime.
Yeah, you must.
You fucked up.
There's no way you can't.
You know you done fucked up, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you had Deez and Mero gooning out to Migos as they were performing, son. Once again, you don't see Joe Tessitore or Marv Alberts out there fucking throwing up gang signs to fucking
no Mike Breen going, no Mike Breen going, you're like every other minute. Like,
once again, the only thing we were missing from them last night was a chopped cheese reference. That may have happened earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, they were on. We only caught like the last third of the event. So
to my knowledge, there was no chopped cheese reference.
But there was a reference to 233rd Street. Shout out to Jesus for that.
Shout out to Yonkers.
That's my neighborhood right there. So thank you for that, Jesus, for putting 233rd in a major sporting event, even if it was a fucking clown show, which it was. Like that's my opinion on the fight, clearly,
which
guys.
is kind of sad when you think about it, especially in the boxing game, because the Bronx is known as one of the hubs of boxing, and for somebody that isn't even fighting to have to been the first one to throw that out there is a little, I don't know, it's a little disheartening, but it is what it is. But last night was a spectacle, but in the lightest form of it, because it was more entertaining than I would have admitted it should have been. Again, I'm not gonna lie to you, Ocho, aka Chad Johnson, being involved definitely intrigued it a lot for me. Because if it was just Mayweather and Logan Paul, like I don't know if I'll be talking about it right now, but brother Ocho, you know what I'm saying, he's a spectacle amongst himself, son. And he seems to be trying to find some new athletic lane to really do things in. He's been trying to do his soccer thing, that didn't work. Again, if you follow him on the gram, you've known that he definitely, one of his workouts, or one of his main staples of working out is boxing training and shit like that. So I'm surprised it took him this long, but he really wanted to do a soccer thing. His nickname is Pepe. So, but he had a good showing though. He came out with the style that you would expect a Chad Johnson to come out with. A real kind of dancing, boxing, poor man Ali style. He needs to work on that a little bit more. But in regards to these exhibition, spectacle entertainment fights, he can have another, like, a second career finally.
It's like you said when we were watching it, it was very entertaining to see him be fluid out there. When he said he only trained for 2 months for this, I was shocked, because I was like, damn,
for the actual fight. But again, he's been doing boxing training for I don't know how long. And
being athletic, we talked about that too. It made sense that an athlete, we've talked about in the past about how amazing it was, even though he's a piece of shit, Herschel Walker training for MMA and adapting his athleticism to the game and being successful for that moment in Bellator, or Strikeforce rather. Early on, it was cool, and to see Ocho get in there and box with someone who boxes and be able to kind of scare him, that's compelling. He's almost 50. That's amazing. He came in great shape. He looked good. There was no winging. His hooks look good. Clearly the hook punch is his thing, the lead hook. And I know we're not a boxing thing or whatever, and
we're a sports podcast, so I mean, you're supposed to break shit.
But what I
that.
Noticed, he
like I said, if for the style that he wants, Like the hook is great.
But it isn't because.
No, I'm saying it's great for what he wants to do. But again, first of all, his hook it needs a little bit more work.
I mean what he wants to do, like because clearly he's athletic enough to carry all that off. But like you saw him fade, like
that body, he needs to get that body hook.
They only
that
had
body hook.
That
If he gets that,
because he had the range, so it was like, all right, cool, like,
and it just gets his little 1-2, the jab and the straight.
Tagging him, so it was like, and when he felt confident enough to let off combinations, he hit.
But then that's also when he got knocked. Well, he got knocked down, not knocked out.
He got knocked out at the end when the fight was winding down, and he was winded. He was fried.
Yeah, but honestly, against a much more skilled boxer, he would have got knocked down much sooner. Because remember, he would have got
hurt. Because as soon as he would have tagged someone more skilled, that guy would have been like, word, and then would have swarmed him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the other guy was a little tentative. Like, he definitely could have pressed him. And he did, like I said, he caught him with that nice overhand at the end to knock him down. But like,
and he knew he was wearing Ocho down.
But the fact that Ocho got right back up after getting dropped it says a lot about. And
the post fight antics when they was giving each other the pound and the hug, and the first thing Ocho said was, "Hey, boy, that shit you hit me with, that shit."
That shit was crazy. He said that shit.
He was about
crazy.
to be like, nigga.
And you could tell he had fun in there, which is the point of an exhibition. Like, oh, okay. Like,
honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, boy.
I'm not looking for him to do a run for the title, but I could, like you said, I could watch him in the ring again.
Overall, it was a fun night though. But I mean,
like he said many times, it was a fun night. Like Floyd said that later to spoil it. It was a fun night. I had fun.
I mean, boy, how can you not have a fun night in Miami, son?
And it was cool to see Ocho get busy. I always liked him, and I'm glad he didn't get knocked out because I was worried that he was gonna catch the Nate Robinson. But
there's a man that eats McDonald's every day, son.
But he looked great. He really looked great in there. Again, this is a man who's almost 50, and this dude looks incredible.
He's in his early 40s. T.O. is almost 50.
40. He said 41.
He's 42, 41, right. 42. T.O. is almost 50.
All right, I'm scrambling them. But the point, they both look good because T.O. was there.
T.O.'s there. Looking like a old drug dealer from the 80s.
Words. And well, they were in Miami, so everybody put on their Miami costumes.
I'm saying it's hard not to have fun in Miami.
It was hilarious. But it was a good fight. It was fun. And then they had the next fight was the dude in the Knicks colors who fought before on, I believe, Logan Paul's last jam against somebody. I don't remember if he wore leg colors, but I recognize his tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, I ain't see the last Logan Paul affair.
But he got smoked. It wasn't even got smoked. It was a narrow fight. Like they kind of went neck and neck, and then he started getting his body worked, and he lost.
He was winning. He was definitely winning the fight, but it was. Let's just say that I guess that was the most controversial fight of the night.
It was narrow. Like it was very close. And again, it was the only real fight of the night as well. Honestly.
No, that one and the other one with what's the boy name? Badu. What is it? Not
Badu Jack. That wasn't a real fight. Badu Jack just destroyed that man.
Well, I mean,
not only did he destroy,
in the ring.
He destroyed that. That's true, but he destroyed that man, whose name I can't even remember right now. But he destroyed that man with the fury that he was saving for the dude he was supposed to fight.
Yeah, who apparently was trying to come in mad juiced up.
So so you can only imagine, like, even if and the dude came in on 1 week's notice, so I was like, all right, even if you are a boxer, you are coming in against a former champion.
Yeah, like
on
I said,
a week's notice.
I said it that night. I mean, like
and I get it. I'm sure he got paid, so I'm not mad.
Well, you get paid regardless. Yeah. But we're in the age and the days of ever since the pandemic started. You got to be ready because you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who's gonna catch what. You don't know who's gonna.
The UFC proved that.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, we're honestly speaking, like we're in that time and that age for a long time. So I've known and been cool with quite a few boxers, and some of them they like to party and do what they do, but you got to stay ready now, man, because you don't know when. Hey, you may get one fight, and that fight may lead to like 2 more fights. Then shit, a year and a half later, boy, you may even get a fucking title shot, man. You never know. Like these days, like the fighter hustle, man, you can get your shit off now, man.
Definitely, especially since like many other, I guess, sports or things that are competitive that spring up, you can go and really learn at schools now, like high level schools. that will really train you to at least compete, and you're competing against dudes who are at that level, whether in Bellator or the UFC or wherever, or in their local, they dominate their local circuit.
Yeah. Well, shit, bro. You remember like 10 years ago,
it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
There was one MMA school in Long Island. Now it's like what, 3 or 4 of them?
Exactly. So,
how many are in Jersey, bro?
Anthony Smith. That's his story, right? This nigga was delivering pizzas, right? And he saw people watching UFC in a garage, and he's like, "What's that?"
Boy, I could not picture that, son. You
big
order
ass Anthony delivering a pizza, and this big ass nigga comes.
Mad tattoos, like boy, and yeah, don't fuck around and like have a pizza delivered, like he's delivering your pizza after he lost.
Oh my god.
Nah, because that's the time you don't want to be like, yeah, boy, you forgot my marinara sauce, son.
What'd you say to me? And then he fucking throws you in the fucking armbar or some shit.
That nigga's big ass just jumps on you and you're automatically in a fucking guillotine, son.
So yeah, it was a thing, and then so Badu slaughtered that man. It was cool, good for him. He looked great, and then it was time for Pretty Boy Floyd versus the Maverick. That's what he's calling himself, the Maverick. I thought he's calling the other one's the problem child, right? Jake. He's the problem child.
Yeah, the whack one is the problem child.
So the Maverick, Logan the Maverick Paul. I right out the gate, I'll give a nigga his credit, even though I don't like either brother for some incredibly morally reprehensible things they've done that I won't really get into right now because that's not our lane specifically. But he looked good out there, man.
He did. He looked,
came in shape. The leading headline obviously is that he survived. The greatest modern boxer right now. And I give him that, man. Like, he didn't fall dead just from not even just from being beat up by Floyd, but for surviving the cardio test, because this dude was leaking, like,
look, there's a few
after
things
the first round.
There's a few things with that. He got in the ring with somebody who arguably is... He's the best modern day boxer because Roy Jones retired early. But
also injuries to a lot of promising champions and such.
And not even with him, because realistically Floyd, like, niggas front on him, and that's another one of my points, but they always talk about how brittle his hands are, but when he hits people, you clearly see like it has an effect. You know what I'm saying? But he's never been a knockout artist.
He's still starched, that boy, though.
Oh, no. That's what he does. And again, like, had there been more rounds, then...
Yeah, it was just 8, right? Like...
Well, all right, now...
And I won't be like just 8, because after the first round, your boy was drenched.
Because he came out swinging for the fences because he
knew that was his best chance. Not that he ever had one, but he knew that.
I mean, to me, that was bad training, but whatever.
Nah, he had to rush him down. You got to take advantage of the youth and power. Not that again.
You do, but there's ways you do that.
And it didn't matter anyway because you're dealing with a master in there. So
it wouldn't have. But all right.
Because when he tagged him, because he did tag Floyd. Again, that's another thing I'm gonna report. He hit this man. Which is something that like professionals like have struggled to do.
Yeah. But again, those are professionals that don't have the size advantage that he had over him,
and also didn't fight a 44-year-old version of him. Even though again, Floyd looked great, and clearly performed great. He looked loose out there, like he kept saying. You could tell he was having fun out there. I just had fun. I was having fun.
But and I said this last night, but you could see with Logan Paul, he clearly has heat in his hands. So. For somebody like, again, if he was a legitimate, even if he was just an amateur boxer.
Well, he technically is.
Yeah, no, he's not. But he's professional now. Like, now that we're like seeing all this shit, and he's getting. The second he started getting money for this shit, he stopped being an amateur. No, his skill set is.
I suppose.
No. Legally and technically, he's not an amateur. Like, once you start getting paid, you're no longer an amateur.
It has a record, I guess. No,
that's a professional.
Even if it is 0-1.
That's a professional record.
Yeah.
But a true boxer, even like a low skill boxer of his size and stature, I don't want to say would have been able to like really beat Floyd, but they would have known like this little nigga, son, if I give him two hard good body shots, son, he's gonna stop approaching me, son. So,
but also, Floyd would have just rushed him down that much sooner.
But that's the whole thing, though. That's the whole thing. Again,
Because at first, like he again found the range like he does.
yeah.
Then started pressing him here and there, testing him.
And again, that's what you want.
Because he wanted to wear him out, but he's like, but I also want to snuff this nigga.
Yeah.
And then he started tagging him.
Again, that's what you want as the bigger boxer. You
a lot of trick hands, a lot of like stuff like that. And again, I'm not a super boxing expert, but it's just cool to see this dude fight, even if he is 44, because it goes to show you how good he was. Like the fact that he's doing this stuff now,
and
he probably didn't train that hard for this. Like he didn't need to. Like
all he did was get a shape up, son. Floyd Mayweather for big fights always shows up clean cut, bald, smooth.
Nah, he came grizzly. Boy. He came out as Papa Mayweather on this one.
Like I said last night, like if they ever do the rematch with Conor, Floyd comes out clean cut, bald, shaved.
Yeah, he'll take him seriously.
The only way they got to do that in Ireland though, but you have to have like, I don't know, like a real top flight federal squad to protect Floyd after he beats this nigga again.
Honestly, I think the respect that the man has garnered, even if he does beat Conor, who again is not as universally revered like he was.
Yeah.
Even in Ireland, even though I'm sure he's still loved out there.
At this point, like at one point,
again, Floyd is the best ever right now alive. So.
Well, Floyd, no, well he is, but the reason he's the best is because he's the last fighter to, last boxer to really have those true. They weren't mega fights, but he was the last boxer to. Like, when Floyd was fighting that Saturday night, you knew it was an event.
He moves the needle, whether you love him or hate him or whatever. He moved the needle
last night, bro. Like,
again, people bought that. Even though, again, he's dealing with someone who is a toddler in the ring. That's good. Again, he looked good, but like
I said, he's 18 years older than him, but Logan is 30 pounds bigger than him.
Yeah, he said 19 years older. What is it, a foot taller or something like that, and 20 pounds heavier or some shit.
30.
Like 30 pounds
30
heavier.
Pounds heavier.
And again, like, I don't like this dude, man. I don't want to wish ill will on him or anything like that. But if he becomes a fighter, like, worth something, then good for him, man. He shows that he clearly is into it. And I can respect that.
At this point, son.
I really can. Even though he's just a rich boy getting in the ring with the greatest boxer who also is interested in getting money.
No, he still got rocked, and again there's and that's what I was gonna bring up earlier too. There's video of niggas saying that Floyd had knocked him out a little bit and held him up just to keep his ass up. Well,
we talked about last night when I would believe that was the 5th round or the 6th rounds near the end of it.
In rounds 4 through 6, there was at least one point in each round where he knocked it, like he hit.
And there was a couple of back of the head punches too, but they let them fight, which is cool with me.
But
they did it in Conor too, so it's fine.
Yeah, because Conor started that, but
no, I'm not even with Floyd. Like they just kind of traded, but the one I'm thinking of is when he headlocked him. Like he had this thing in a headlock, and then he hit him with like 2 body blows, like real fast before the ref separated them. And you could tell, like, especially the last one as they separated, like, hurt him, son, like, folding him.
But see, all right.
And then I think, like, I was gonna say a couple plays, but like a couple sequences later, he hit him with another body blow, and he folded. He was like, shit, because nigga was tired.
Yeah.
But he stayed upright. And again, all respect to this nigga cardio and shit. Like this nigga, even though he should have sat on the stool between rounds, he stayed upright, and I give him that. I give him that all day. But when he folded him near the end of the fight with those body blows, I was like, oh, he might finish him if he fucking really works him.
And you know why that happened, bro? Is because prior to when you really started noticing that, when even like after, like you said, you put it up perfectly. After round 1, Logan was. You know what I'm saying? I won't say he was fully spent, but he was shacking.
Nah, it was the look of like, I know I trained for this, because you know he trained for it.
Yeah, but he was
I know I trained for this, but I didn't know that it was going to be.
Drenched in sweat, and
I didn't know it was going to be like this. That was the look on his face. I didn't know it was going to be like this.
And honestly speaking, again, that's on him.
Which is why, what was it he said at the end of the first round? He's like, yeah, I got to finish this, or I got to knock this guy out or some shit. I got to win.
That's horrible training.
Because he knew he was cooked. And then, like, the second from on, that he was just slumped in the corner, like. And again, I give it to him. He stood up right, but like he could barely take the water. He was drenching. Like niggas were online saying he was peeing himself because he was just dripping as he was fighting. And again, credit to his conditioning and cardio because again, he stood up right with the best modern boxer in the world.
That's the discussion. The cardio, like from like. Again, if you've watched any Mayweather fight, you understand that the first, from rounds 1 to 4, he's just trying to see what it is. He's trying to figure out, all right, I'm going to take this away, but I'm going to bring this in. All right, I thought I was going to do this, but I'm going to do that. But from like, I want to say from like round 3, after Logan got tired and tried to start hugging him, that's when he was like, all right, bet I got him, because now I don't have to do what I was doing earlier, like hands mad high on some wiki right shit, and just kind of like bowl him. No, he's coming to me. He's hugging me. So all he started doing was just hitting him with them little slick body hooks. Boom, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then by the time you saw what you saw, he had already hit him with like anywhere from like 10 to 12 of them shit. So on top of Logan being tired, this nigga, he just hit him with them little subtle.
Yeah, he was airing them out.
Yeah, he just, you know what I'm saying, death by 1,000 cuts. So by the time you saw what you saw, that's when he started hitting them with the
that's when he's hitting them. That's why I noticed it.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that he threw a full headlock on this nigga, but like.
And that's when he fully knew. He was like, oh, no, it's over.
He knew it was over when, I think it was after round 3. I might have to watch the fight again, even though I don't really want to.
It was, I know, when he
at
went
the
to
end of round 3.
He went to the corner and just
and
started
he looked
leaning.
at him and he smiled at him, saying he's smiling. He smiled at him. And
that was definitely, that was 3 or 4. 3 or 4.
And I was like, yeah, it's over now. Because this nigga's loose. He's having a good time in there,
I mean, boy, it was over as soon as Logan Paul started swinging for the fences.
Well, he had to have the puncher's chance is what he had, and so he had to take it.
It is, but like I saw it like the first stance Floyd came out with is, like I said, that winky right, that OD high, high defensive fucking stance.
He would run forward, hands high into it. This dude would swing, and then he would just take the punch and then hit 2 in the gut, like you said, and then back out. If he kept pressing, then he would just hit him with the lead hook, Then he started hitting the uppercut here and there at the end of the fight. I was like, okay, so he's feeling good because he has the range now.
And it was, you know what, as a Floyd fight fan, it was amazing to watch that because, well, again, anytime you watch Floyd Mayweather, understand you're watching a fucking maestro. Okay, understand that. Like, anytime you watch him, you're getting a boxing exhibition. And you're getting a boxing lesson because he comes from a boxing family. But that was one of the few times you'll ever see Floyd Mayweather not use his most crucial weapon, which is his straight fucking right hand, son. Or just the overhead right.
He started to at the end.
He did, but like that's the first time.
When this nigga was swinging desperately, he started throwing that right hand over the top.
Again, everybody that wanted their knockout,
that would have been the punch to do it.
And again, I understand, like he didn't use it because he was not trying to knock this dude out. He wasn't.
No, he's trying to put on the show.
Yeah.
I think at the end he was trying to hurt him because, like I said, he was folding him. He was really making contact.
But son,
he knew he could punch him at will.
What do you want Floyd Mayweather to do with 8 rounds, bro? That's like a high-level Pro Bowl running back, and you only give that nigga 15 carries, son. What is he going to do with that?
And you want him to get 150 yards.
Yeah, what am I going to do on 15 carries, son? I need at least 20, 25. Floyd Mayweather is a fucking championship fighter, son. Championship contender, championship bout fighters.
And once again, he showed it. And again, I'm far from a fan of either, but I love to see that man fight. And it sucks because I know, much as I think these exhibitions are stupid, because again, that really is still my opinion. I watched it. I get it.
Some of them are stupid.
You could clown
Some
me.
of them.
You can clown me for watching it, whatever. But like,
no, boy, everybody's watching that shit. Now, I mean, look,
shit, I clown y'all for paying for whoever paid for that. But like,
yeah, well, $50 wasn't bad for last night, but
yeah, it was.
Man, honestly, to see Ocho, Cincoooooo, and Mayweather in the same event,
that was cool.
That's what I'm saying.
And Jesus and Mero clowning, but
boy, between two dudes, that's $25. Boy, it's not that bad.
I don't know, but and we didn't see the other fights, so maybe the earlier fights are better. Who knows? But
point is, nobody was mad that we watched it.
It was what we were expecting, a spectacle, and I'm not mad at that. And moreover,
it was, you know what, it was.
I was entertained, which is the point, right?
And that's why, like, you know, with that one, that particular one, or just the ones that I've watched, because the only ones I've saw were the one last night in the Tyson Roy Jones affair. And for me, those, even though they were spectacles, like clearly Roy Jones and Tyson was.
They fought though.
That was a dream fight, even though niggas was mad old.
They still fought though. They fought.
But you know the performances and whatever. But you know, even that night, you know, to his credit, it was entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, not you know, fight night or you know, crazy big boxing match night entertaining, but it was like, all right, I wasn't mad. I watched this shit, man. Other ones I didn't watch, like I said, because I was working, but that one and one last night, I'm not mad that they happened. You know what I'm saying? Again, prior to me knowing that brother Ocho was boxing, I felt a certain way about it. But then when I saw that he was in the lineup, that I ain't gonna lie, that drastically changed shit for me, son. Because anytime that I can view brother Ocho Cincoooooo, son, especially for free, I'm gonna take that, son.
Ditto. I'm assuming he's got the bug. He'll probably come back, see if he's still, like, you know, to really test himself.
Now we're gonna have at least 2 more Ocho fights.
So
now, if he gets knocked the fuck out in the next one,
maybe not.
It may just be one more.
We'll see. But yeah, as for the main fight itself, you know, it was a, you know, contest, I guess.
No, Logan Paul, much like Mayweather said, Logan Paul, he showed that he's a tough dude.
Yeah,
Again, you know, we use the word spectacle. I can't give it that type of wordage because of him, because of Mayweather, yeah. But after last night, you wouldn't mind seeing Logan Paul try to do what he thinks boxing is. His brother, I don't want to see his brother. Him, he clearly is, like, he's into this shit, man, and like into it, and like, yo, he really should have been a fighter, man. If he was like a legitimate boxer, bro, I don't know where he would be, but honestly speaking, with his look, he probably would get a push, man, as a boxer right now.
Again, he still might, as I was saying.
No, it's too late for that. It's too late.
I mean, in the sense that, because we talked about this too, like, and I'm not saying this nigga's gonna be out here winning championships or whatever. But if he trained, because now he's rich, especially after this fight, he's definitely richer. But
20 mil for one night.
Yeah, just to get beat up, but and
not
not
get beat up and have Floyd Mayweather say that, yo, he surprised me.
He's tough, yeah, exactly.
He surprised me, and again, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, for somebody that's not a boxer.
For the best to say he surprised me, some YouTube nigga, that's some shit. But he has the wealth to just be like, all right, I could dial back a little on my YouTube shit because, again, I'm established and really trained, like, to fight. Because there is no shortage of people who will line up to try to knock this nigga out for clout or just to fuck him up because, again, I already heard stuff about, oh, these dudes are ruining fighting. Because now he's advocating for UFC unions and this and that, and being like, and again, those aren't bad things per se.
No, well,
given how large a persona he is, but like,
well, like
it's so odd to see that when
like he's doing that in the realm of boxing and like,
no, and again specifically the UFC.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just like,
but I'm saying like it's one thing.
You're trying to embed yourself in this fighting world. That's what that shows me. Like,
yeah, of course.
You know, and again, you got the bug, great. Like, do what you do.
But look, again, it's one thing for you to say that doing this boxing shit as opposed to you, if he would have had let's just say like 2 MMA fights and he would say what you're bringing up, then that's a totally different, because he's in that realm then.
No, but it's like you said last night as well, because you said they boxed this way to plant the seed for a rematch or whatever, which is totally possible. I get that because it's free money. Clearly, there's interest.
I don't know if Floyd does it, but
someone will, because again, like I said, there's no challenger will line up to just punch the dude in the face. Like,
no, and we're also, well, shit. I can't say when it started. Probably in whenever I guess Sugar Ray Robinson was popping, but you know, boxers like being celebrities, so you always have those.
He has a draw that a lot of them don't.
He does, but like even
Like,
beyond
at
him,
all.
like no, even like, and I'm gonna use this word very firmly. Even a nigga like Adrian Broner, son.
And he's quote unquote washed, allegedly. Like,
One of the most talented boxers ever, but
but again, think about the talented boxers that are out there who are they're just toiling away in obscurity, except for boxing nerds who, they know who they are. But
well,
like,
the talented boxers who didn't understand the business of boxing, who either just again
they fight.
Miss-
They don't. I don't want to. I don't. Again, I'm not. I'm not a promo nigga. I'm not a fighter either, so I'm not gonna say whatever. But
I'm not a fighter.
I
Neither,
imagine
but,
it's difficult
Niggas
to-
have watched fighting for some time.
I imagine it's difficult to promote yourself if that's something you're not used to doing. You're just used to fighting, which again is great. But like,
But I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Like, all right, and that's just one of the microcosms of why fucking Ali was so great. 'Cause, like motherfuckers, because you know back then, I guess the prototype for the colored heavyweight back then was brother Joe Louis, who was, you know what I'm saying, you know, mild mannered, you know, he didn't run his mouth, but
well, he was smart. He knew if he went the Jack Johnson route, it would, you know, antagonize and rile up the niggas. Especially, you know, he didn't go to fight
listen,
the
your
war.
man Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson was out there saying he was the greatest and fucking white women. Son.
So that's what I'm saying.
You
So I'm
couldn't
sure-
do both at that
I'm
time.
sure Ali was looking at that and be like, all right, if I do the equivalent, they will.
Honestly,
They'll kiss my feet, which they did.
This isn't
especially
well,
since he was styling on them.
well, no,
Yeah.
well, you're talking about sucking the toe, but
Yeah.
Ali has been on record saying that he got his shit from wrestling, son. You know the superstar Billy Grahams and from you know the,
And Harley Race probably.
yeah, all of them, you know, everybody, even you know the original Nature Boy, but
R.I.P.
yeah, R.I.P. But you know the early wrestlers from like let's say the 60s, 70s, where you know promos are what people like knew of you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, yo, I'm gonna fuck him up this Sunday coming up August 5th. He's gonna lose. I'm gonna rip him up. All that dick. You know, but then you know when everybody started to rhyme, like I said on that Billy Graham shit, with I'm the Willer, I'm the Thriller, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'll kick your ass from the Rudy to the Tootie. You know what I'm saying? And all that extra shit. You know, Ali definitely, he took a little bit, he incorporated a lot of that into his you know, his game, you know what I'm saying, his promo game, which is something that boxers didn't even think about having back, well, the best boxers, you know, I'm quite sure there was boxers back in the day that talked the best shit in the world, but, you know, they were either, you know, what were called, like, club boxers, you know, like the beginning of Rocky when he was fighting some other fat ass Italian and they was only getting like $30 per fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That shows you the integration of wrestling and shit talking and how, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people forget about that type of thing, man.
And you know, salesmanship, all that kind of thing. And that's why we even brought this in the first place, the art of the spectacle, the art of coming essentially from nothing, at least in this realm, and then getting some training up, and then being what's talked about.
Yeah.
You know, no one gives, and I don't want to shit on boxing or any of our boxing fans or whoever's listening to this in the future. Like, I enjoy it, but at the same time, it's irrelevant compared to UFC. It's irrelevant compared to the other major sports because there's no storylines that matter to anyone.
It is.
Not to the common man, I should say. Like,
no, it is, and you're not getting, till this day.
Even if there is, because again, those fighter stories are relatable to everyone. The promotion is not good enough because the dudes at the top are not pushing the storylines. They're not. I'm sure they're funding it. I'm
it's
sure
that
the
Vince
money.
McMahon shit, son.
I'm
It's
sure
that
the
Vince
money.
McMahon
I'm sure
shit,
the money
bro.
team supports its fighters or whatever. But at the same time, like, if I'm not hearing about them, that means you're not doing your job. If the point is to bring boxing to the masses in a way to make them care about it, because it's clear that boxing has a special place in the hearts of Americans.
It always will, because there's nothing like that big fight field. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
the fact that this had that, while you have one half of the equation basically being essentially a bum against the greatest of all time, at least
it shows you
era,
the potential, man.
That they have that. They still have that hook. And
you always have that. And again,
imagine what happens if you got two skilled dudes in there.
Fury and Wilder showed you that, man. And that fight, honestly, you know, the first fight was way better than the second fight, but the second fight was so big.
And both of them were lopsided. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first one was like the cannons, and then the second was like the adjustment. And so many people watched it.
Yeah, so now we got the third one is in what, July?
Supposedly.
Yeah, we'll see. I would have preferred Fury and AJ, and then the third one, but you know, whatever.
Eventually, but the point is that we brought this up because of how amazing it is when these fucking assholes are able to push the boundaries enough to bring, you know, voice and relevance to something that should be more relevant, should be more talked about, respected, celebrated, all types of shit. Like, I was kind of more happy for Badu. And again, I follow UFC and MMA and that type of fighting more than I do boxing. But it was cool they set Mauro Ranallo, the GOAT of announcing, at least for now.
I don't know about GOAT, but
one of them. He set it up perfectly. He told the story of Badu Jack. He went through these losses. You know, it was hard for him. As a champion boxer,
he was doing what niggas in
he made
wrestling should do.
He made me invested. Again, I'm not into this shit at all. But
he did what good old JR used to do.
He gave me what I needed. All right, this dude is going through it. He's losing, but he's coming out. He's looking good.
He grew up in the goddamn backwoods of New Orleans.
Exactly. He needed a win. You know,
lifting calves and cows his whole life. That boy he's strong as an ox.
He's a killer, you know, that type of shit. And
3-time All-American champion wrestling.
And even though he knocked out Badu Jack, a dude that came in on a week's notice that he wasn't, you know, really up to brutalize, he looked good and he won, so it was great. And I was happy for him. That's the point. Like, you're supposed to get your average viewer like me invested, your bubble fan, all these people, and boxing seems incapable because they are, one, greedy, and two, there's a lot of congestions with the belts. That's just my personal opinion. They need to streamline that shit.
No, it's too many belts.
There's way too many belts.
Too many belts.
There needs to be needs to be a lot of unification going on. But
you know what? Look, I don't mind that because there's so many fucking boxers, but at the same time.
But then it should be kind of like and I understand this is easier said than done. Believe me. But it should be like, you know, the major sports in that you have conferences, leagues, divisions, etc. And so, like, for example, right, the Golden Gloves, which has a name attached to it here in New York, is one league, hypothetically, right? And you run numbers under that.
The Golden Gloves, that's you know, that's in every city, every town.
So even
well,
better.
Every state, excuse me.
So even better, right? So you have Golden Gloves.
It's like Mr. Basketball.
Perfect. So you have a Golden Gloves umbrella league or feeder league or whatever in every spot. However you can pull it off. Again, I understand logistics.
No, bro. All that already exists, but that's what you call the amateurs, because Golden Gloves leads into you. Like, if you win Golden Gloves in your state or whatever, but you theoretically, you probably are trying to make your way to the Olympics.
Which is great. My thing,
but that's like, again, that's all amateur.
Look at someone like Clarissa Shields, right? Who is trying to break to MMA because boxing ain't paying, and she's the best female boxer in the world. So it's like,
and female boxing ain't where it's at.
Yeah, exactly.
It never was, and unfortunately, it never will be, man.
And that sucks because it
does.
Clearly is her passion. She's good at it. So she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna modify these things and whatever to make it happen for myself.
Shout out to Holly Holmes.
You know, exactly. So hopefully it goes well for her. I think she fought or is about to fight, actually. Her second fight or third fight. She trains with Winklejohn and them, so she got John Jones in her ear telling her how to be good, which is dangerous, super dangerous.
I think one of the dudes that fought last night, I think he trains with your man Jorge Masvidal too. I forgot which one, but I remember somebody mentioning it.
That's entirely possible. So yeah, just to wrap up, you know, because I didn't. Again, it's funny. The intention wasn't to talk about this fight. I mean, we talked about fighting, more than anything. But
we talked about the whole night.
But we pretty much went through the event. As you know, Floyd kind of danced his way to victory. It was cool.
The moments of the night were clearly seeing Floyd looking like he's selling do-rags on Broadway somewhere.
Exactly, looking like a dude you would see getting off on Fulton.
Nah, boy, like he,
you know, like
he's selling. Man, look like he's selling do-rags and old gamer magazines right there on Broadway and Halsey.
Nah, my son's selling incense on fucking the intersection of where the Barclay be sitting at, right by the train station.
True indeed.
Fucking Atlantic Avenue and shit. Know what I'm saying?
True indeed. Know what I'm saying? Your man is out there selling fucking old Lloyd Banks mixtapes on the corner of fucking Ralph and Fulton. So.
Nah, your man got comics on the fucking fold-away tables on the intersection of fucking Broadway and fucking, I can't even think of a place right now. Fucking
straight up and down. So your man
Hope and shit.
Your man is out there. He's out there giving away free NYC condoms on the corner of Utica and Lincoln Place.
And that sums it up precisely. So we'll see what happens in the future for these dudes who just keep failing upwards, man.
The entertainment of boxing seems to be doing way better than the actual sport,
as usual. And again, I guess some life is better than no life, but at the same time, it's rough again to see someone who is such a fucking douchebag be your champion, and people really be into it as a result.
There's no real champions. There's no real champions here.
I'm talking about in this moment. He got people to give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Not even Floyd. Like, again, a Floyd fight is a spectacle, but he's done. Like, he's on the downside. He's in the twilight.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about twilight. He may have one more good fight in him, but
he's not gonna risk it. Why would he?
Well, yeah, especially. So
I'm not saying
if you could make $50 million in one night.
I'm not saying he's wild
for 8 rounds when you've been fighting for like. Well, he probably had quite a few 15-round fights, but
you're an 8-round fight for almost $100 million.
Your normal work night is 12 rounds against high-level fucking fighters
that you could really get hurt by, like,
and they still can't hit you. Now, if you get $50 million against a young little nigga that can hit you,
is a baby hitting you.
And the only reason he's hitting you is because he's that much bigger than you.
Yeah, he just has range and some youth on you.
Now again, like I said, had he if Logan had let's say just 6 legit amateur fights, he may have really fucked Mayweather up, son. Just
tag them more at the very least,
2 or 3 good haymakers or body shots. He would have fucked Floyd up, son. You would have. And I'm not, I don't want to see him fighting anymore, but that's just fight lore, bro. Yeah, it's just if the bigger, stronger fighter should win, son. If he is the better fighter,
or gets that fucking Galactic Phantom.
Which again, Logan seems to have some heat in his hands, bro. He has knocked niggas out, son. Well, no, I don't know. Bring up your brother, your man Ben, but I think Ben just got caught out there sleeping, man.
Well, that was against Jake, right?
Was it Jake?
Right? Or Logan? I don't know. They're
point, I don't even care, son. It was one of the polls.
It doesn't matter. So we're done with that. We'll see what happens with these guys. Hey, maybe something positive might come out of this because of the platform and the level of fame these two have, the Paul brothers, and they might really give boxing a shot in the arm that it desperately needs. They're certainly not gonna get into MMA because they get smoked. But
nobody really wants to see that.
But it's fine, at least.
But they'll definitely there'll be at least one more Paul fight, definitely before.
Nah,
the
they'll
summer.
fight as long as people will pay that pay-per-view.
You know what? They'll probably do.
You already got Tyron and Jake coming. So
they'll probably do some Labor Day weekend shit or something.
That's the Tyron. Tyron and Jake is coming. That's the next one, and then we'll see what happens next year. Or near the end of the year. That'll probably be how it goes.
Yes.
It's not like Floyd injured a nigga or anything, so it'll be fine. At any rate, I guess we're gonna go in the second round because there were some games tonight. There's a couple games tonight.
The official end of the first round
Has
and
happened.
The second round.
So I guess the easy question is, what did you think of the first round?
It was honestly not. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. Clearly there's not a lot of salt there, but clearly as a Knicks fan, I would have liked things to have gone a little bit different. But at the same time,
The better team won.
Oh no, yeah, but better. The more talented team that was, the Knicks. We were clicking towards the end, but
the Hawks just wanted it more. It's not even about their talent, and we talked about
it. It is.
We talk. I mean, that gives them the edge, but at the same, because given how good Trae Young played, I'm just saying that this nigga. We talked about a lot about getting the juice out of your offense, and the Knicks were just not capable of that. And the Hawks, and I don't want to shit on John Collins or anything because he's a good player, but to see him really get his shit off, like, you knew that they were clicking.
Yeah.
When your man was scoring like 15 to 20 points a game, which is, again, that good for I hope that keeps happening because that's what they need to win. So they don't tire Trae out too much.
No, they're in a position where the Knicks would have been in regardless of who won, and that regardless you have to get the most out of your players because you're clearly not a contender yet. Now their talent,
but it's so promising though. Like
they are. And again, that's why I say, like, even going into the playoffs, what I'm saying, those of us who knew what it was knew that the Hawks were the more talented team because even though we had got the season series, it was it wasn't spanks or claps, and you could tell that was a team that had talent, but all they were really missing was just the cohesiveness and some good coaching.
And moreover, shout out to Nick McMillan.
All day.
First of all. Second of all,
I'm saying your Pacers.
Yeah, Pacers alum, son.
Your Pacers.
That's a Popovich. He's a Popovich student, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
He might be. Either Popovich. I want to say either Popovich or Doc, but I think Doc is still a Popovich.
Either way, so.
Yeah. He's in one of those coaching trees.
I really liked that series, honestly, out of all of them, because it was, I think the reason, honestly, the Hawks, besides, I guess Trae Young wilding, and
we should have had two game sevens on, what was that, Saturday?
Yeah.
Nah, because, again, those are both 4-5 series, and the way that 4-5 series usually look is that of the Clippers.
Yes, a dogfight of the Clippers and Mavericks.
That's how I thought the Hawks, like that.
I didn't, because the Knicks look real demoralized, and I didn't want to shit on Tom Thibodeau because their defense is excellent.
Yeah, the first couple of games, but I thought they would figure it out and grind them out to a game 7 and then just get it to the fucking.
But the Knicks just dried up so hard, and they knew that, all right, you starting Derrick Rose, so they really pressured Derrick Rose in a way.
Yeah, they did that too early.
They pressured Derrick Rose. I
wouldn't have done that, bro. I have faith in.
Start IQ or start someone who actually is ready to go out there.
Niggas kept stunting on brother Alfred Payton, but at the same time,
Alfred and
Frank,
Alec Burks, son.
Well, Burks, Burks was out there.
Later, yeah, when they finally realized, all right, we need some points on the floor, but
because Burks, Burks, the only reason that happened with Burks is because he got injured, but he was always out there for the majority of the time, and truth be told, he kind of became
he was their penetrator,
their indirect fourth quarter,
and their ball handler, and he was doing a lot. He was like the Dorian Finney-Smith of the Knicks. He was just kind of getting it in. Same thing.
Yeah, that was just because of injuries, though.
But I'm saying those guys, Obi Toppin, same thing. They came in to have an impact immediately on the floor, and they didn't see nearly enough minutes.
No, Obi should have saw way more time just because.
Both those guys should have seen way more time. But
like I said, Burks saw time, bro. Because he was going to see time.
Yeah, when they were desperate. They realized that they needed scoring on the floor.
He saw time whenever he was good money because he had to see time. So that his minutes was never under question, bro. They were never under question because he had to be out there. He was part of their rotation.
Then why not start him instead of Derrick Rose?
Well, because number one, his only thing he could really do was just straight up score. But again, he's somebody that's in his head, and if he's not clicking, then He's not out there.
But
He's not a facilitator.
But that's true.
He's not he's not a good defender. He's not a rebounder. He was out there to.
I understand that.
Scoring.
I'm just saying, same thing that we talked about off stream or off cast, as to why they weren't giving Alfred minutes. I was like, that shouldn't matter. This nigga's a fantastic defender, like, and gives you energy. And you're clearly pushing Derrick Rose, who's playing his ass off, by the way. Like, I don't want to shut him down.
Rose should never.
Again, when I say that the mistake was starting Derrick Rose, the mistake was starting Derrick Rose because you wore him out too early. Because not only does this man, he was averaging what, 25 a game, 25 and 6 a game, some shit. Like, I don't have research in front of me for that, but I know he was balling. I watched this series.
It was more like 22 and 6.
Which is, again, still a lot for a guard that you need to kind of put in here and there.
If you have him on a contending team, then that's the difference between you winning and losing.
I would have preferred, my point is that I would have preferred to see the young boys at least see more time because we got spanked anyway. Right?
No, of course.
So the point is to have this be a learning experience, and instead they still had kind of garbage time where, again, some of those players played well, but it was garbage time. So
I don't know who was a young boy that really didn't see time outside of dudes that were either injured or
in the doghouse.
Yeah, like everybody
or couldn't score, which again I understand. I understand.
Ultimately, that's what like
you gotta go with your guys who get you points on the board. I get it, especially against a young team that you're playing against, and a
young energetic team,
a virtuoso point guard who has something to prove. Like,
and again,
I get
a team that's hungry, who has lost to you, that they feel like they're
better than you and all that. So I get it. I do. Like, I'm not gonna be like fire Tom Thibodeau, which I heard some people saying already, which is some shit. No, but like, Twitter is a wild place. But like,
your best player didn't show up. Your second best player didn't show up.
I don't want to say it didn't show up. The Hawks. And this is what I was gonna say.
Julius didn't show up, bro.
Hold on.
He didn't show up, son.
They gave the Hawks less credit, not little, but less credit for playing the defense they did, because they forced that man to be into his head so that he threw away all the possessions that he did.
That's fine, bro. That's fine.
Like that. He
went a whole series without cracking 20 points, son.
Yeah, 13. He averaged 13, which is
some
shit.
Look, defense or not, getting in his head or not, bro. Like
he
did not show up.
He choked.
You know what I'm saying?
But they made him choke. They made him choke.
No, they did not, son. No, they did not. They're not good enough to do that, son.
I don't agree with that.
Well, first of all, you're contradicting yourself, because you just said that they made him get into his own head, so therefore him getting into his own head is what really made him do what he did.
But the reason why he did
him, like, they didn't have anything to do with it, because he would have gotten into his own head.
Let me explain his logic. Because
I hear your logic, bro. I've heard it, son. Like, he got into his own head because he clearly is not the number one option. He's not the fucking dude to carry a team.
Not yet.
He's not that dude, period. He's not.
I would say because of the strides he made this season, he is capable.
The strides he made shows you that he's an all-star.
He just ran up against a challenge that was ready for him.
And again, once again, like, that's a challenge that he had already played against. Man. A team that
in the regular season.
Regardless of that, bro. Regardless, son. The Hawks aren't a top 5 defensive team of all time, bro.
That's true.
So you could talk about
they have youth though.
And he has what should be savvy all-star
and waves of dudes to throw at.
That's cool. That's cool. But the reality is, bro, he's coming off an all-star season with which at no point in the fucking series against a better Hawks team that he ever fucking cracked 20 points.
So don't adjustments have something to do with that?
If you're an all-star, aren't you good enough, or should you not be able to make some adjustments?
I agree with you.
If you're an all-star.
I really do. And this is why I bring up this point, right? This is why in the episode I always bring up the thing I always bring up. I am by no means an athlete, much less an all-star forward. What I noticed, especially when they would trap the ball with him, is that he would force it anyway. He would take the contested three. Yeah. There was no movement from the Knicks team at all. They're standing around and watching him. And I understand. You got nerves. It's the playoffs. Shit is crazy. Again, the Hawks played very good defense, like very good.
They play the defense they need to play.
Against their opposition, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought up adjustments. And yeah, you're right. Like, as the leader of the team and the primary offensive player, even though I argue Derrick Rose, given what he showed, is the primary offensive player because he knew what he had to do.
No, D Rose being the number one and him, like he shouldn't be there.
When I say exactly, and that's what I'm saying. If Derrick Rose is coming out as 6 or 7, things might have been a harder time for the Hawks because you have to deal with this nigga coming off the bench.
Yeah, no, I would have never started him. I should have. They didn't.
Nah, they should have trusted in Alfred and all these other guys because even if they,
just play around with your starting point guards.
Even if
start
they don't,
Alfred,
you
Frank,
have a lot of guards. That's what I'm saying.
You can play around with it.
It'd be different if this was previous years and previous Knicks teams that didn't have the depth, but they actually had guys to play and didn't play them.
They didn't have the true depth that they needed, but
you play everybody. Then you're in the postseason. Yeah,
you had bodies.
You're in the postseason. I can see if they're injured. I can see whatever. But
and you're playing with house money.
You can't exactly. You can't show me Alfred on the bench pissy because he's not on the floor. What is that?
Well, some of that is on Alfred because all right, if you're that pissy, then boy, next time you're on the floor, show the fuck up.
Bet, but at the same time, like I need every hand.
No. And for me, Alfred,
unless you're a bum, which he's not. I need every hand.
Shit on Alfred, but at the same time, when things were clicking,
I'm shit on Alfred. Like, it doesn't mean you don't need to play that dude.
When things were clicking, Alfred was one of the
Look
reasons.
at Cameron Payne getting his shit off right now because he's rising to the moment.
No, yo, boy.
Like,
one of the best lineups they could possibly have is Alfred and D Rose out there, son. The times I've seen them win like in a way that, all right, yeah, dominating is when they had that lineup out there. It's Alfred and D Rose. Because you have two guards that are going to defend, two guards that are going to fucking at least take it into the paint and try to create.
And two guards who have not only are tempo guards, but are seasoned enough so that the young boys who are playing the key positions like your Thomas Robinson
and their bigger point guards
and whatever can feel. And RJ, who again, RJ showed me something. Even though he struggled in the series, he showed me that he has confidence. He also showed me that he has the capability to be the forward that they need him to be. It's just gonna take some time.
Or the bigger two guard, but no, he has to be. He needs facilitators around him.
Yeah.
Or and shit. Even
the
Julius
defense is definitely there. Like, and so this is what I was gonna say to Julius. Like, Julius showed me he's at least capable of facilitation, which is great.
Yeah.
And this is why I say the Hawks forced him into a lot of ridiculous positions.
No.
When they trapped him the ball and forced him to take the contested threes or contested drives.
And to his credit, bro, he's gotten better. Like, because again, what you're talking about is what I was talking about last year in regards to him just. He was trying to play around with the point forward, but a lot of times... He was
changing his game up. Also different coaches.
Yeah, all day. Different culture. But he was forcing a lot of things into the paint that he shouldn't have, but... Again, like this year, he fixed like.
I love this became the Knicks talk. Of course, we're supposed to talk about just the first round,
and it has to be. Well, because this is going to be the last Knicks talk we have until
next year until the free agency. So. Yeah.
But again with Julius, does he have the potential to become a number one, bro?
Yes.
No, we've been talking about.
Yes, he does.
Again, son, watching the man in college, son, of course, yes, he has.
From just last season to this season, bro. Like, and it's not even about the points or none of that. Just
his
decision making, his attitude.
And again, like you said, a lot of that does have to do with coaching, man. But,
and I would argue also, and this is an outside factor because niggas always talk about outside factors, right? I would say his being a father definitely factored into this season because you could see where he was like, I take responsibility for the destiny of this team.
His being a father.
A team that wanted to trade him. A team that wasn't really feeling him. Even though they paid him all this money. It wasn't a lot of money, but they paid him. Like,
and they're probably going to extend him. He's not going to get the money he thinks he deserves.
But he's going to get extended, though.
And honestly, he doesn't deserve it because, boy.
Unless he tests the market. And you know how the Knicks are fickle about market testers.
Well, first of all, he could test the market, but he still won't get the bread he wants. But
why would he? And
no,
from where? Because he wants to win. It's not about the money for him. He wants to win.
No, boy. But had he beat the Hawks in the series, he could have got whatever he wanted.
Definitely.
But no. Julius for me can at best for me on a championship squad will be a good to great number 2. Especially if he gets his point forward game together, which he's trying to do.
Which is where you're right in that they need that guard who ties it all together.
Yeah. Oh, they need a couple of things, but
But the guard, again, they're gradually. We were on this we talking about this for 5 years now. They just need this. They got that. They just need this. They got that. They just need a bench. They got that now-ish. They just need, they're piecing it. This is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to develop.
Yeah.
Look at the Suns right now. We just watched the Suns tonight. Fucking cook.
After they were kind of like they were getting cooked because the Joker was being the Joker. Honestly speaking, had Jamal Murray been out there, it may have been different. I don't know if it would have because
I'm not so sure because the Suns won in the post tonight.
Yeah, that well they won on the post and effort, but
and CP having the flashback
in the fourth quarter because he was definitely struggling. But at some point you would definitely have to put Jamal Murray on D-Book, and that's going to be a massacre, man. So, but I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said earlier, man. I guess since the Knicks got bumped, and I have to reside in the Valley for the next several weeks, man.
That's all right. Hopefully, you won't get judged too harshly. I got a couple other questions, so we don't nick it up too much. What else in the first round surprised you? I specifically, people have been calling the Heat bubble frauds heavily, especially since they got broomed out.
They're not bubble frauds, but
So how do you feel about that? How do you feel that both teams, the Heat and the Lakers, were in the finals last year, are now out of the tournament completely, like gone?
Well, I mean, well.
And not only that, but they got dust. Like the Lakers put up more of a fight, but they got smoked by their respective matches.
The Lakers were the better team. Well, first of all, Lakers that was a different Lakers team from last year.
Yeah, they're missing Dwight, Rondo. Who else?
They were still the better team.
KCP was off. Alex Caruso was injured. AD was injured. Who they needed to win.
That's what I'm getting to. I mean, when you talk about the two teams from the finals, from the bubble, it's a tale of two cities, man. The Heat, I won't say the Heat were lucky to get there, but the Heat reminded me a lot of like just, like a college team that had just enough talent to where they can go through an upset and finally kind of win the national championship. But clearly, NCAA and the NBA are two different animals, and you're talking about 7-game series. With the Lakers, again, that was clearly a story of attrition, but again, those of us that knew what it was knew that was always going to be their fucking story regardless, because unfortunately, when you make the acquisition and you get brother AD, Anthony Davis, on your squad, the only reason that man isn't a superstar is because of fucking injuries, man. But he's another one, and we were talking about this earlier, but he's one of those to where, like, it's night and day. Like, if he's not there, it's one thing, but if he's on the floor, he's on the floor. So it's funny. It's like
he averaged 34.
Yeah, it's like
right? He at least got 34 in one of them games.
Yeah, right? No, it's like that. What's that? That 06 Colts team, and the true leader of that defense was brother Bob Sanders, but that man was one of those strong safeties that threw his whole body into everything, so he was always injury prone. But the reality is, niggas talk shit about their defense because at one point I think the Jaguars had ran for like 300 and damn near 400 yards on these niggas, and going into the playoffs, they was like, yo, how are they gonna do this, that, and the third? And their defense with with brother Sanders coming back, they went from being like last in fucking run defense to like second or third in the playoffs to run defense. You know what I'm saying? But that's that Willis Reed in Game 7 walking out thing. You know what I'm saying? Just something like that. That presence makes that much of a difference, and you could see that in Game 6 with a one-legged AD, but ultimately the shit really didn't even matter, man.
Yeah, I more feel bad for the Heat, as you guys noted in Lake Show, at the end of the world, and times where we had Rob on. I have no sympathy for the Lakers at all.
Brother Scrams,
shout out to him. Where he's at, Father of the Year, Dad of the Year, did the Dad of the Year, not Mero. Brother Scrams, Father Scrams, the Reverend. At any rate, longtime followers of the show will know that Reverend Scrams is a diehard Laker fan, and I would have loved to have had him on the show for his reaction. That is not in the group chat between all of us, but
no, he'll be around soon.
He was most disappointed. Had a lot of more analysis than we were talking about here.
We'll have the Hollywood Bronovich cast soon enough.
So, and his hilarious take on that, but it was sad for the Heat because they were so well put together. They still are, I feel.
They are they are,
but they're another team like we were talking about. Like they are lacking the things you need to win a title, even though they have the firepower.
Yeah, they at least under like two. Like they need a legitimate center, and truthfully, till this day,
or even just again a bench. Like the problem is they don't have size on their bench, and they don't have golems that they could put out there like to really absorb.
Yeah,
shit.
No. Their bench is okay. It's just again like you need another couple of pieces to like really
round it out.
Yeah, to make the roster full.
Like I know UD is the coach, and I get that he's there, for spiritual purposes, but you need that roster spot for like players, like
even though he what was that, like a month and a half ago when he came out for one game and got like 2 straight techs and then got kicked the fuck out. So.
That's what I'm saying. So like. Miami is also another work in progress. Again, it gives you it doesn't surprise me, but it shows you how good they actually are. Because again, people say they're bubble frauds. It's bubble frauds. It shows you how good they are. Because
no, they are in regards to making the finals. But like the reality is,
I don't agree with that in the sense that they were so up and down this season. They're like hard body through injury, through all that.
Yeah,
and they still made the postseason. Which means that they have that in them. Like, they have the ability.
Again, yeah. No. Again, them making the finals in the bubble was a fluke because of the team they had. And again...
they just jumped on their bad matchup with the Bucks.
The bubble was about cohesiveness and the best teams.
I don't know. I think frauds... It's like that LeMickey shit that people say on Twitter and other social media. That Mickey Mouse title. And I've said that myself, that, like, Braun won the Mickey Mouse title. But as I've said about his title with him and Kyrie, in which they orchestrated the great conspiracy to get Draymond ejected along with Tristan Thompson with the dread dick kick or whatever.
Yeah.
You still have to make those shots. Braun and Kyrie made those shots in those key games to seal the title.
Yeah,
I can't take that away from them ever. I could say fuck LeBron James all I want. By the way, I'm not a LeBron hater like that. I say fuck LeBron James because it's cute or whatever. But like,
I ain't
gonna lie, an incredible player.
There's some pleasure in seeing him lose.
There is, because it's the same shot and fraud that we get from watching the dude who's on top fall. Do I want LeBron James to fail? Not really. I enjoy seeing him play. He's a great basketball player. But at the same time, do I want to see him every year? Fuck no. I'm tired of this shit. I want to see the new NBA that they're always promising me, but then they're like, oh, well, the ratings didn't do well because we didn't have Steph Curry or LeBron. They're going to pull that shit. Watch. This could be the poppinest postseason ever, and it has the potential to be because it has new blood in it. But at the same time, like, they're going to really shit on it at the end of it and be like, well, LeBron James wasn't in it, so it wasn't as hype. Steph Curry wasn't in it, so it wasn't as hype.
Well,
this player, that player wasn't.
Like, you can say that.
Luka wasn't in that, so it wasn't hype.
That way, but like there is some truth to that, bro. It won't be as big as it should be.
I understand
if there's
that.
No stars.
Ratings will be lost. I'm not saying there won't be an effect.
Now, should they hide behind that? No, but
which they do.
Some truth to that, though.
Absolutely. I want to see Kawhi Leonard. I want to see Paul George. I want to see all these people.
And again,
but let's say we get like a Suns Bucks final. I'm not mad at that. I'll watch the shit out of that.
Right now, son, honestly, the most intriguing star right now is probably D-Book, son.
Absolutely.
And that's because he hasn't been there.
Besides Luka, because this nigga was cooking.
Well, he lost, so right now.
To like you said earlier, way earlier in the conversation, veteran edge carried them over. Carried the Clippers over, that is.
That and the Clippers, they could not lose all of the home games in a 7-game series, son.
Yeah, especially in a one where, as we've talked, I guess that's the theme of this episode, better teams on paper, right? They're a better team on paper. But had to really struggle to finish these dudes. Like,
it took 7 games.
it's a hard 7, not just 7 games of like, all right, your turn, my turn. I took a game, you took a game.
Really, 7 games where
they crawled. They
should have been closed out in 6. Really,
this nigga, the fun guy, my guy, son. Kawhi had to have a once in a lifetime game just to keep them in it.
Well, technically, he had to have like 3 of those.
But no, that game 6 though, like that was ridiculous. It was nuts.
Well, I guess you can say that outside of the Nets, that the Clippers are the favorites because the Lakers got eliminated.
In a way, yeah. In the sense that,
well, shit. After the Nuggets after the way the Nuggets look tonight.
nah, the Nuggets played too. Still, like even though they got smoked.
Well, no, we'll see. Look, game 1 between.
It took a flashback performance from Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, playing like he should out there.
Yeah, he's gonna play like that. Flashback for CP in the fourth
Mikal
quarter.
Bridges isn't gonna hit, whatever 5 threes like he hit tonight or whatever, right? So like
the Suns guards are gonna do what they do.
Nah, Cameron is ready. Like, all these. I'm not saying the Suns. It was a fluke.
See, no. Cameron is ready. Cam isn't ready.
No, the Suns went out there and asserted their will, which is what you do, and they had home court. Like, I get that, especially since they didn't really let them play.
Yeah, no.
The foul calls were minimal.
Honestly, this should be another 7-game series in the Suns.
I hope it is.
The Suns should get it in that 7th game.
It should be
in the Valley.
Is that the light skin prophecy? Is that the light skin prediction right now?
Well, as I said earlier, the light-skinned congregation is being represented quite well in the series. Utah and Clippers, I don't know so much about.
That's a toss-up.
I can't fuck with Rudy Gobert.
I would like to think that P. George remembers that these niggas embarrassed him 2 years ago and comes out and kills these niggas with the death, with the murder.
Is that a liquid prophecy?
No, because I can't trust this man. He's shown me that I can't trust him.
Come on, son. Come on, bro. Like, do
the Jazz are actually good. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to.
They
the Jazz are really good.
The Clippers can't beat them.
Like defensively, especially. So would I love to see P. George drop 60 on their heads? I don't think it's gonna happen. But he is. Listen, I'll say this. He is the X factor. He is absolutely crucial. And I know that's like
he's always been the X factor.
I know that's kind of obvious, but he hit more than any matchup. Like they need him now, so they need him to be that 24, 7 and 7 type of player. Like they don't need him to score 60. Let Kawhi do the heroics. He's clearly better suited for it.
It ain't about Kawhi having the heroics. It's about the rest of the team.
It ties all.
And P. Jizzle filling the holes.
So because of that, like it all ties together because like any team, Kawhi clearly has that motivational factor. We make fun of him about how
he has that closing factor.
That he's the fun guy and this and that, but shit, shots I seen this dude take, like he battled with Luka. Like Luka was red hot. And he just calmly stepped up to the
Clippers
plate.
Don't have nobody for Luka.
And he went blow for blow with arguably the hottest player in the postseason besides Damian Lillard. Like,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, in terms of will to win, to keep your team in it, like Luka was putting that team on his back, like hard. So,
no. You saying Luka's the hottest player in the playoffs? Yeah, I'll say that.
I only mentioned.
I was saying you was talking about Kawhi. I thought you were talking about Kawhi.
No, but I'm just saying they are similar in the sense that they know what it takes to. All right, I need to hit this mid range right here. I need to hit this 3 right here. That's what happened in that game 6. The Mavs had these dudes defeated. Defeated.
That's why I say in game 6 they should have had them in game 6.
They had them like, and the fact that I don't want to say the Mavs choked because I don't think that's what happened. These dudes just rose above. They powered up.
No, the Mavericks as a team choked. Luka showed up. KP is a give. Timmy is up and down. Yeah, we talked about that.
He played well in the series though. And so it wasn't him. It was just again.
Timmy, that's why they were in that position. KP maybe showed up.
Your guy who needs to score 20 or more a game isn't there. Like, and despite that, the Mavericks were still competitive. It took a godlike performance from a top tier player.
The Mavericks team
to pull them over the hill.
Was Luka and Finney Smith.
And Boban. You gotta give Boban.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Boban.
Whatever
that was. John Wick 3 or was that 2?
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
you played your ass off, Boban. Like,
We need Boban
Greg
out.
Popovich was a fool to let you go.
I need Boban
but,
in the garden, son.
Oh, that'd be nice. Boban and Thomas Robinson? That'd be disgusting.
Nah, boy, not Thomas Robinson. Mitchell Robinson.
I always do that every time. Every fucking time.
Shout out to Thomas Robinson.
The big hurt.
Frank
Robinson. That's Frank Robinson.
Thomas Robinson.
Thomas Robinson is
Man, he used to be on the Rockets, but
Yeah.
his claim to fame was his Kansas days. He was in that national championship against AD when AD was in Kentucky and he was on Kansas.
Mitchell Robinson and this dude would be some shit.
Yes.
Like,
And you won't have to put as much stress on Mitchell. But
or Taj Gibson, who another guy. Speaking of first round recollection,
shout out to Marcy.
this man, son, like.
But you knew what he was going to give you, though. You knew what he was going to give you.
He gave me more than I was even expecting. This dude really kept him in it. Like
He back home, baby. What
the
you
effort,
expect?
the rebounding. Like,
See, he ain't go to the Nets, right?
the defense, all of it. Yeah, he can sell out. But like, it was very wonderful to see.
Wonderful.
And it shows me that the Knicks are a team that could really contend if they get like a scorer.
Like the Knicks can't do what the Nets did, even though everybody's talking about it.
Not quite, because they only have 60 mil, but they could get somebody.
No. We have a high cap.
Who do we trade?
Well, right now,
That's feasible. Who do we trade?
right now, what they're talking about is
And you have to re-sign your man.
What they're talking about is, I mean, listen, boy. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm from Brooklyn. But
This also might be a separate episode, much in the vein of a lot of other YouTubers saying, "Oh, what's next for the eliminated teams?" I think we should do an elimination special.
I don't know about all the teams, but definitely for the Knicks.
The ones who are intriguing.
The Knicks, the Blazers.
The ones who are intriguing. The ones who matter.
The main is the Knicks, Blazers, and the Mavericks.
There you go. That's a good one. So stay tuned for that. We'll try to put that together.
But right now they're talking about trading the house for Dame time.
Nah, it's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea if you can't sign Kawhi, which is what they're talking about.
That's a lot. That's a lot of ifs. That's not worth it. You already have a team that's developed.
I don't know about develop.
You need like
they're not developed.
They're developing. Like you need like a Bradley Beal. You need someone like that. Like,
well, listen.
Like,
this is why it's up for discussion.
If you're gonna spend that money, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's no guarantee that Kawhi's gonna come here.
All that's true. But at the same time, based upon their performance in the playoffs, there's nothing that realistically should tie.
And also, this is without us looking at the free agency list, by the way, which I know isn't crazy, but I know there's some names on that. I just don't know offhand right now who's on it.
The only other main name that they could get, which again, if I don't have to, do anything else, the main name that they couldn't get, and that's just by signing him, would be your man DeMar DeRozan. I'm cool with having him.
If he wants to leave San Antonio.
No. He's leaving San Antonio. He's
or I guess if they don't pay him, to stay.
No, he's a UFA. He's an unrestricted free agent.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If they'd have to pay him, for him to stay.
Not going to, and why would they? Why would you, son? There's no reason to, because
he's a good player for them. And LaMarcus is retired.
He is, but
LaMarcus is retired now, so you have more money to give him.
And you're rebuilding.
Absolutely.
So.
But the only reason I can foresee, besides having star power, is having a veteran player teach the youngins how to play, because he clearly has a good effect. He has a good impact on that team. They like him there.
No, and again, you know what? I'm if we don't get anybody else, I'm fine with getting DeMar.
Shout out to Tunde and your San Antonio Spurs, bro.
All day.
A lot of rebuilding to do.
I'm cool with just acquiring DeMar because, like you said, he supplies a few different things, but especially that savvy veteran guard play we need to go along with D Rose. But I also have somebody that can call his own number
and can score. That's
but again,
I really score.
And again, you were talking about Alex Burke earlier. He would DeMar would be what we want DeMar to be. DeMar would be what we want Alex to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
The only reason I brought him up so much is, again, this is what they had available. That's my only gripe. It's not that they didn't play him enough or anything. My thing is that they should have gave more minutes because they needed. If the point was more points, and you weren't gonna play Alfred or Frank, play him. Really. And again, he did play him at the end.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. He's another one.
He had no choice.
He's another one, boy. If he doesn't,
I'm not saying start this dude. I'm just saying
I
that.
hear you, but yo, whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, he's another one that if he doesn't hit his first 2 shots or one of his first 2, he's gone for the game. Son.
Which is fine because he does other things, and more importantly, this is where you talk about signing other people comes in. $60 million is not nothing, but at the same time, it's not gonna get you some marquee shit. Like I'm trying to be realistic. The only reason I say Bradley Beal is because I see his frustration in Washington, even though he's trying to be loyal. But I'm just throwing this out there. He's not the answer to all our problems. Let's say we got someone like Bertans or someone like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I'm not giving the house up, but I'll make that trade for Bill. I make the trade for Bill.
Let's just do hypotheticals because that's what we do as delusional Knicks fans. Even though I try not to be delusional. Let's say that Tobias Harris is available.
I'm not a delusional Knicks fan. I'm a realistic.
I try to be realistic, but let's just throw scenarios because again, we don't have the.
If I was delusional, then I would say that we're gonna get fucking Giannis or.
Well, then oh God, or Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi's coming here personally, but like you never know.
No. Again, this is why the conversation is there because. Again, first of all, we've seen that Kawhi clearly is a fickle-ass dude, son. But he does have ties out here because I think one of his uncles lives in Jersey. So, and he clearly will not go to the Nets because he's clearly like the antagonist to the superstars, even though he kind of is a superstar.
I think he wants to be his own man. It's like that. He's like Braun. He wants the team to be built. That's why he fucks with Paul George because Paul George is the excellent utility knife.
That's why he went to the Clippers, but that shit ain't working. So now he's gonna be like.
Also, they got rid of guys that would have made it work, like Shea Gilgeous. And I understand that it takes you gotta give to get, but at the same time, it's like
they got rid of niggas because he wanted to go there.
They could have kept Montrez
again. If you would have just had
because
Kawhi,
a free agent.
If you just had Kawhi on that ill Clippers team from whatever that was, 2019, they would be a contender, bro. Because that would be one of the.
But you've talked about this before as well. Even though they they got regrouped enough together in this series to beat the Mavericks. They look weird out there together. You could tell.
And it should have never took 7 games.
They don't have their equilibrium yet, even though you're talking about 2 top 20 players who have experience. Who again, there's no beef between them. There's nothing like that.
Honestly, it's really just that Clippers curse.
So for me, yeah, but I just wanted to keep it in the realm of basketball. Besides basketball gods,
and understanding their personnel. We again, the conversation is about the first round, what we thought about it, and what our expectations are going into the second round, which we're pretty much into. They do have Brother Rondo on their team, who again is the antithesis to Brother Playoff P, even though they're on the same team. He may be the reason why Playoff P becomes Playoff P, but we'll see. And much like any ill-savvy veteran, clearly Rondo gets better the more the playoffs go on. So they got Rondo to round 2. So we're gonna start seeing more and more of his intangibles and what he brings to the table.
One can only hope they will need him. They will need that IQ.
No, they need him
desperately.
They need Bev. They need Bobby Schmurder.
They ain't even playing Bev. They're playing Schmurder. And
no. But that
Schmurder's his credit is playing well.
But that honestly, they ain't paying. They didn't play. They knew that they were against a team that is OD tall and big. So
exactly. So your man. When Beverly switched on Luka, he's just gonna shot over. I understand why they took him out.
So they and give again.
And clearly it worked because again, Schmurder showed up.
Give Ty Lue his flowers for understanding that.
I do because again, without them points, the Clippers don't advance.
Yeah, and
they needed Schmurder to average 17 or whatever it is he averaged. He showed up.
And that's always the key to fucking series, bro. The change up, adjustments, man.
And that's what I said earlier. Like me personally, and this is why I'm not a coach. I'm leaving fucking Beverly in the starting lineup because of what he gives. But at the same time, this nigga also takes away because he's volatile, and he's not offensively giving me what I need to really.
He doesn't take as many threes as he
Finney
used
Smith
to.
and the guards of the guards of Dallas. I was on some Hardy shit. The guards of Dallas were scoring at a higher clip and more efficiently than him.
And they were all bigger than him.
And scoring on him. So why? And again, when they switched, you have Beverly on Luka, who it's free. So like, why would I continue to have him on the floor? I would have given him more minutes, but at the same time, what the Clippers needed was offense.
Yeah.
So,
but see, like your man Pat Bev will have way more of an impact against Utah in this series right here because Utah.
Absolutely, he has to guard Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson. All Donovan on the switch, all these guys who
his main two the scouting report for him will just be Mike Conley. Well, no, it'll be three guys: Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, and Donovan. But that's fine because that's all I want and need him to do in the 7-game series.
Yeah, he just needs to maul them, make it hard for them.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other guards.
That's really so much the better. And they might even play small because the Jazz isn't like huge. So they might do the double guard and just have some combination of Rondo or Shmurda at the off guard.
The key, the Clippers, bro.
And force Donovan to defend. Because that's really what it is. They have to force the Jazz to really defend.
Nah, even beyond that. Donovan can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. The key thing for this series for the Clippers is have and keep Rudy Gobert in foul trouble. If he's not on the floor, then the Clippers can do whatever the fuck they want to.
Yeah, because they don't have the size to contend with him.
And then you're playing Clippers small ball. Then like Utah.
That's the ball they're playing anyway.
Yeah. Well, they have to. But like Utah does not want to play that. Utah wants to play.
No, they want to play half court.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to hit as many threes as possible. They want to grind you down. They want to frustrate you, as well they should, because all the players on their team, they're all players that do that. So like,
do
that's how Quinn Snyder's a smart nigga. Like he knows what to get out of his team. Like you got Rudy Gobert looking like a real offensive nigga out there and that's not his game, but he's looking good out there.
Oh yeah.
Joe Ingles is that nigga. Like the fact that you had two teammates be the runner-ups for 6th man of the year. Like what does that tell you? Like when they play well, Clarkson and Ingles, that is, they win. It's as simple as that. Like.
Yeah, but it also shows you that they don't have depth because both of those dudes should be 6th man of the year candidates, but they start though.
As you said in prior episodes, a lot of teams in this postseason don't have that anyway. So you're going with your 1 through.
That and they have to start.
I try to listen to Scrams. Scrams is right. Like you're 1 through 9. I get that you want to go 1 through 9, and that's it. Like. You don't want to take any risks, turnovers, whatever.
No. Like in a perfect world, like it's not so much that your 1 through 9 is fixed, but you would like to have your 1 through 9 be consistent. And then if it's not working, then at least you have that foundation where I can switch up something here, I can switch up something there.
But my thing is also better to have that 1 through 9, even if 2 of those dudes are iffy, than have that 1 through 6 or 7 and burn them out. Because they lose. That's historical. Like
that's one way to look at it.
Unless you're like a god player, you lose. Even Jimmy, again, we go back to the Heat last year, right? Jimmy gave everything
because he had to.
And exactly for them to contend.
Jimmy gave everything, and here's why everybody is talking about
and Goran before he got hurt on the way there.
And here's why everybody's talking about the Heat in the way that they are. It's because the reality is, bro, Tyler Hero does not do what he does in a regular playoffs. He does what he does because that was the bubble. You know what I'm saying?
And he felt confident. I get that.
Yeah, no, and again, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a rookie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And like, moreover, he had shooters to pass to. So if he didn't feel confident, Thomas Robinson was on fire as well. And he hit it. And again, as I said off cast, when we talked about this, not so much that they're
That's Duncan Robinson.
God, why do I keep doing that? I'm stoned.
Too many Robinsons. Shout out to the Admiral.
Duncan Robinson. The Heat weren't able to sneak up on the league in the same way. That's really what people adjusted to them.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that might be the title of the episode, Adjustments at the End of the World. Because that's really seen.
No. The title may just have to be the heated bubble at the end of the world.
Well, let's finish it because the algorithm says that if we go anywhere near 2 hours, no one will watch our video. So,
Well, you know.
So how do you want to wrap it up? Do you have any closing thoughts on the first round? Any observations on the second round that intrigue you? Finals prediction.
Well,
do you have any more light skin predictions? You have some shit? Like, give us some heat. Talk to him.
I haven't graduated to the light skin liaison yet, but we'll close it out in the way that you know we would want to, which is again, you know, the first round was. Honestly, I mean, the first round went the way that most would expect. You know what I'm saying? If you're into college basketball, then you understand what what the phrase of everything just being all chalk means. But you know, all that means is all the top or higher seeds pretty much prevailed. The only real upset was just, unfortunately, the fucking Knicks and the Hawks. I mean, listen, we were in store for a hot summer regardless, and this first round, it definitely, I can say, it definitely set the tone. Like I said, we definitely in the midst of a heat wave. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it's we can bring back Heat Wave 2021 and make
That's
it
it right there. Heat Wave 2021 at the end of the world. Shout out to New Jackson. We're doing the X's right now.
It may be too early for that title, son. It may be too early. But
nah, it's a precursor. You got to think about it as like a omen.
Oh, no. But then I understand all of that, son. You know what I'm saying? You set up, it's like playing Chinese checkers, bro. You set up one play for the next one. I get it. But, you know, we're in store for like several years of interesting series, especially in regards to the Mavs and Clippers. That seems to have taken over for the old school Mavs and Portland series from when I was in like dudes in high school and
during the NBA Jam times. You were talking about NBA Jam earlier.
Well, not NBA Jam, but like that's more like early mid 2000s. But during the early Dirk days and the early Brandon Roy days. But Suns and Nuggets. It would be nice to see that one go 7.
I think it will.
It would be nice to see that.
Unless D-Book just goes Super Saiyan 2.
Phoenix as a team, like, I don't front on the Nuggets, but again, the Nuggets last year in the bubble, I don't. If that was a regular season or a regular postseason, I don't think they run that far. But Nuggets outside of the bubble, it's the same thing as the Heat, man, honestly. But at the same time, they are a much younger, much more talented team that all they have to do is figure it out. And again, we were talking about it earlier, with most of the Nuggets teams outside of that 08 Nuggets team with Chauncey and Brother Mello. Most Nuggets teams really, they do fall prey to attrition or injury. So we'll see. Jamal Murray is definitely he's definitely an all-star. Potential budding superstar, but their superstar is clearly the Joker. Michael Porter is definitely, he could be another superstar, but as long as his back holds up, we'll see. I don't know, like the Nuggets seem like one of those teams that has too many dudes, as opposed to just having like a team where dudes fall into place, which is usually the better teams. You know what I'm saying? Like the best teams that have the talent, but they are also like a team. Those are usually the ones that win. Outside of like, of course, these Nets who seem to be hitting their stride even without the beard. KD seems to be.
I kind of hope that the beard is the Caron Butler of, let's say the Nets win the chip, that he just wins the ring. He was just there.
Oh yeah, no, he's the Caron of the Mavericks. Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Or he just shows up for the finals, but
And guess that would be even better. That would seal it. Can you imagine how mad Westbrook would be if the Beard, Jeff Green, and KD win the title?
Again, that's what I was about to bring up, and it shows you how, even though the OKC management team, you know,
and your man is stuck in Washington with Scott Brooks. Son.
Well, but that's his coach. That's my coach. That's my two guard. If y'all make fun of him, it's unfair. But no, like if the Nets win the chip this year, your man Sexbrook, aka Russell Westbrook, will be fucking public enemy number one because niggas is gonna be like, boy, they got the chip with KD, the Beard, and you weren't part of that. But again, that really is more because of OKC management. Because if you keep that OKC, matter of fact, fans, stay tuned for that. OKC the hard way.
You're through the hard way. You're pushing it, man. Like
that trilogy.
You're for. I have. You know how much writing I have to do, guys. Like I understand that this podcast is very unpolished, but to give you a peek behind the curtain, I do research for this. Like I really write the script sometimes, like at least a general outline of what we're gonna talk about. And it's not just me. I don't want to be on some diva shit. We do this together. Like we talk about it.
We try to be organized and not.
We really try to we don't want to be like and this is what we think about this and
and even though we're organized, we still end up saying and.
But at least we have something to talk about. Have a conversation to really kind of structure all these and whatever's around. But at the same time, like that 3 the hard way, like we've been talking about this shit for almost a year now. Like I'm a little intimidated by it. I got to be honest, but
I mean,
it's gonna happen. We have to do it. We've talked about it for so long. We just gotta write it. We just gotta make it happen. And
intimidation.
There's just a little editor rant that I was just bringing in right
intimidation
here.
creates fear, which creates motivation, which creates product, content, product, crack, coke,
all the same thing.
Medellin,
all the same thing.
But
do you have any closing remarks? Any other further Lightskin prophecies?
Well, I'm definitely firmly invested in the Valley.
Enough to sing the whack ass rap song they got, the Rally the Valley, Rally the Valley. You gonna give them the Rally the Valley real quick?
No,
time?
No, I will not.
I gave enough for y'all, even though that song is cheap. I'm sorry, Phoenix. That shit is whack. The team is great.
I have no reason to do that, nor as a matter of fact, son, my light-skinnedness won't allow me to do that.
Rejects the notion of singing "Rally the Valley."
No sir, not me.
I respect that. I really do.
But shout out to the Valley. It would be nice. I mean, this should be the summer of CP.
One can only hope.
I hope it is. D-Book seems like he's
ready for it. He's playing like he's ready for it.
Well, no, you know what? D-Book, he was already ready, but the reason I'm with him is because brother DA. DA is showing that he's ready, willing, and able. So. And the rest of their team, you always bring up brother Cameron and not Cam, but Cameron. Brother Bridges and several other players that they have, but it's not quite 93 all over again, but
It's close enough.
you know, for what it's worth, and the Suns.
Post players are gonna decide the title. There's a prediction for you. I'm not light skinned, but here's a prophecy. Post players, as fucking usual, besides defense in the half court game, will decide the title.
Post players
Because none of these little niggas know how to deal with that bullshit.
No, post players in a 3-point game.
Well, that went without saying. I'm talking about.
No, you have to say that because a lot of people don't understand what that,
Fuck them, son. It's going to be the half court game.
Some of them may be our fans, bro.
And I don't mean fuck the fans. I'm just saying fuck your logic. Under the rim basketball is what will determine.
Basketball is a tall man's game.
Simple. You can shoot all day. If Trae Young wins the finals, good for that man.
No.
I'm happy, but at the same time,
statistics say that the easiest play to make in basketball is to be under the rim and hit the shit off the backboard
and get fouled,
or get fouled.
The and one.
And like even though the stat nerds up front, the best shot in the game is the mid range, anywhere from 15 to 17 feet. But
there you go. So chat. You heard the man. You can argue with us about it. The mid-range mastery is the goal.
Holla at Kawhi Leonard.
We have been the triple P three times.
Three of those things.
Holding the threes up right now.
3 of those things.
Even though we're talking about the mid-range, we still respect the 3 over here.
If you don't throw 3 of those things up, then you definitely going through a table.
We'll be back soon. The first round just started, so we'll definitely be popping in and out with our analysis about it.
Stay tuned for that Sunday Night Heat.
Damn right.